Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode on the Anarchy podcast. I'm your host, Super, and here with me we have the amazing YouTuber and legendary 2v2T player, BarrenDome. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man. You?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm pretty happy to be doing this interview with you, man.
Well,
So,
I'm happy to be here with you.
thanks a lot, man. So let's just just put ourselves in this interview. So the first question being, and I was wondering this, and I'm sure many, if not hundreds of our viewers are wondering this. Why even come onto the podcast?
I've been watching well, not really watching, but listening to the podcast, and it's just been interesting to hear you talk to the old players, some of the newer players. You just get a different viewpoint of the players of 2B2T. You're not actually in the game doing stuff. It's kind of like in the background, talking with people and seeing how they act, their thoughts, and just how everybody is.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's pretty much just what this thing is. It's just getting people's input, whether it's liked or not. Anyway, that's what we're here to do with you. So, I guess the first question to you is, why do you even play Minecraft in the first place?
Well, it's a long story, like everything. But the reason I play Minecraft goes back to Left 4 Dead, and it's kind of an interesting story. So, back when Left 4 Dead, the trailer came out for it, I wanted to get the game. I saw it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta have this game!" But at the time, my computer was pure junk. I couldn't even run RuneScape barely at the lowest settings. It was ridiculous.
RuneScape?
I used to play RuneScape a little
Dude,
bit, the free,
dude,
the free one.
that thing can literally run on a fucking ATM machine.
That tells you how bad my computer was at the time.
My God.
So I ended up getting an Xbox 360, and I was playing Left 4 Dead, and then Minecraft got released for the Xbox, and my kids at the time were like, "Oh, Dad, get us Minecraft," and I was like, "Okay." So I went, I got the Minecraft, and they started playing it, and I'd watch them, and then I'd play a little bit. We'd build some stuff, and then after a while, it was, "Hey, Dad, build this for me. I just want to go explore." So I ended up building up all the redstone stuff, all the buildings, and then eventually, of course, they lose interest, but I'm still stuck playing. And so I eventually got a better computer, and I moved on to Java. And I was working with some guys at work, and one of them just happened to mention that he was playing on a Realm server with his kids. And I was like, "Hey, can we kind of play together?" Because I got bored doing, single player
Yeah,
with no
yeah.
chat. Uh, so he said, yeah. So it started being me, three of my coworkers, one of their wives, and two of their kids. And we were all playing Minecraft together. It was really fun. Uh, but then again, they all kind of quit, and I was left playing by myself. So after they kind of shut down the Realm server, I was looking for another multiplayer server to play, and I stumbled upon Imgurcraft, or Imgurcraft, depending on how you want to pronounce it, since I was on Imgur all the time. And I started playing on their server. I think it was like version 1.89. And what they would do is they would do a map reset every time they went up to a new version. So I did 1.89 and then 1.9. And then it was just, I don't know. I was playing, and they kind of played, they had like about 5 to 10 regulars, but it just felt, I don't know, kind of just fake because you couldn't really do what you wanted. And I had built this large area with it was a whole villager trading hall, and literally have all these farms that provided everything for the villagers. You could just stay at this one farm and get everything in the game pretty much. It was built over a slime farm, a pigman farm. Geez, it had everything.
Christ.
And they used to complain because my 4 chunk area would lag the server more than all the other players combined. And that got old after a while. And then one summer in 2016, one of my coworkers knew I was into Minecraft, and he said, "Hey, there's the whole series about going on Minecraft." It actually was an Imgur post that I was following first, and then I saw the Camping Russia videos, and I started watching those and reading all about it, kind of getting the back history. And I actually tried joining in July, but when I saw that 1,000 person queue, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. So I just stopped. And then around October, I was like, you know what? I'm still bored with Imgocraft. I wasn't really doing much else with it. I completed everything. It was just doing everything for me. I was like, well, let me go check out 2B again. And I tried in October and I logged instantly in with no priority queue, something you can't even do nowadays.
Oh, you're so lucky.
And then after that, I kind of just stayed with it.
Yeah, I mean that's a story with a lot of people. Like they came in within Russia
Mm-hmm.
and then they just realized, oh my God, like 1.5 thousand Q, I'm never gonna get in. I know that was the case with myself, and then I joined back a couple years later. But many of us have been here ever since, and yeah, it's always fun to know the story of the people on Tubi.
Right.
Yeah, but something that actually is kind of intriguing to me, and I think I already know. What's the origin of your player name, BarrenDome?
I'm going to say that's probably the most original thing I've ever come up with in my life. Uh, Baron Dome is my actually third player name ever. I had two other ones, but I never quite liked them, and it just didn't stick with me. So one day I was like, all right, I got to come up with a new player name. So I'm sitting around and I have Gmail, Steam, Minecraft, and Xbox all open, and I'm just trying out different player names. I'm like this, that, and obviously for your viewers that don't know, Baron Dome, I have a bald head. So obviously, Baron means that there's no hair on my head, and Dome is for my head. And it just was like an epiphany, and it just worked out. And that name was never taken by anything. And I was like, this is the name I'm going to go with, and it just was perfect for me.
Yeah, it was perfect, and many, many hundreds, if not thousands, yeah, thousands actually, probably close to 100,000 at this point have known that name, BarrenDome, all too well.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember in your one of your past YouTube videos, I think it was with the AMC, the CS:GO video you did
Mm-hmm.
with Random and us and me and McKims and all the buddies. Uh, you were making a joke about your skin, and we were saying, "Oh, it's because he's got a bald head," and then you said, "Yeah, no, it's not. My skin's not as shiny as it is in real life." Oh my God, holy hell! Like what? This is a question I've had for a lot of bald people. Do you shave your head?
Okay, so yes and no. The I have a widow's peak kind of a thing, so like the top part of my head is pretty much bald. There's like a couple straight hairs here and there, but I get hair like along the sides and the back. So I just shave 3 times a week just to keep the entire thing bald. Otherwise, it just you get that really old guy balding look, and I don't want
Yeah,
that.
I got you. I got you.
So yeah, I do shave it, but it's I shave the parts that aren't bald. If I could, I would completely have all the hair removed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just replaying something in my head. This like I forgot what it was, but like, that thing where you go up behind a bald person and you slap the top of their head, and it's like a perfect
Yes.
connection. Yeah, yeah. I'll put a visual up for the viewers watching what I mean. Anyway, man. So you already you, that brings me to my next question, but you already answered that, and that was how did you come to be in Anarchy? But let's go into more in depth into what you've done with your time in Anarchy.
Hmm.
What's the complete? And I mean, try to make a complete history with your YouTube channel.
Okay. In case you didn't know, this is actually my second YouTube channel. Did you know that?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. The first one I started, it was a different name at the time. Back in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, so a long time ago.
Boomer.
Uh, no, Gen Xer, man, Gen
Oh,
Xer. It's
okay.
after the Boomers.
Damn, damn.
Zoomer. All right. So the back in my 30s, I was really big into guns and survivalism. So I actually had a YouTube channel where I would go shoot guns out in the desert, and I would just do various showing survival skills, how to make like survival belt using 550 cord. Those are the belts that you can take apart, and it's like a bunch of string or rope. So I had a lot of stuff like that, and when well, I wouldn't say, yeah, when I started 2B, I had linked my my first channel to my BarrenDome channel, and I was able to monetize my channel as soon as I started. So a lot of people were like, "How the hell are you showing ads and you have like 30 subscribers?" I was like, "Oh, because I have another channel," kind of a thing. But that channel I've long since deleted it. I still have some of the videos. Actually, in my Discord, I posted one of the videos where I was out shooting in the desert.
Oh, you know what?
So
I
yeah.
looked through your Discord while I was researching for you, and I saw that video actually. That this is all coming
Mhm.
back to me now. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, I used to show like my gun collection. I used to have like 15 guns, and I would just talk about various things and survival skills. That's why in one of my videos I have what was the 5,000 subscriber special? I ate that like 70-year-old MRE. So
God,
I have
okay.
like a stockpile of MREs. Oh, it was disgusting, dude. Super disgusting.
Oh my God, I've
Uh,
always wanted to like try one of those. Like I've seen countless videos. They always pop up on my recommended YouTube. I hate YouTube, but I also love it. But it's just on my recommended. There's at least one or two MRE eating videos, and it's like Vietnam War and MRE, and eventually you'll get one of those World War II or World War One when you're like, holy shit,
mhm.
this has lasted so long. How are the biscuits so crisp?
It's whatever they're doing to it.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, the current ones can last like 20 years if you properly store them. But I had kept mine in my garage, so it would go through like temperatures of like negative 30, not negative 30, but like negative degrees all the way up to like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was this huge temperature up and down that would destroy it. That's why mine was super disgusting.
Yeah, was it like one of those ones where you just crack it open, there's just like crackers or stuff, or was it like soup?
It was like a burrito, but it was like squished. It was not good, and it had like a granola bar, and I think it was cheese and crackers too. But the cheese and crackers never go bad in MREs, or the peanut
Yeah,
butter. Those things stay
yeah.
forever.
Oh yeah, peanut butter's fucking indestructible. Anyway,
So yeah, back to that. So yeah, that was my first YouTube channel, and I did that in my 30s. But after a while, I shooting guns and buying guns and collecting them gets expensive. So I fell out of that whole thing, and then right around it was around October, or actually probably about October, when GTA 5 was going to come out. And me and my coworker were talking about it. We were all excited, and we're like, we're gonna play. And it came out, and then it was single player for a little while, and then eventually multiplayer got released. So on Friday nights, sometimes Saturdays, me and this coworker, we would play from like 8 p.m. at night to like 4 in the morning every Friday night. And we would come back in on Monday and we would talk about it with the coworkers, like, oh, we did this, we were flying planes, we were shooting people, we were hunting people.
shooting
And
people, of course.
yeah, so we were having lots of fun, and some of the other coworkers were getting jealous, and they were like, oh, I would love to see what's going on. So I started, actually around July 2014, I started recording some of our GTA sessions, and I would upload it to my channel for our Friday night plays. And eventually I got another coworker to join us, or even two, uh, another coworker's brother, and then somebody else joined us. So we had a whole group of people playing together. And then that's when the other people mentioned, hey, let's start playing Minecraft together. And that's when we were playing on his realms. And actually, my first Minecraft video is on his realms server, where I show like my little build with cobblestone and a couple little things I had. So yeah, eventually uh, we all kind of quit playing GTA, and then they all quit playing Minecraft, and then I just kept doing the videos every now and then. I had a whole Imgur series uh, where I was building there and visiting their builds, and then after Camping Rusher came on to 2B, and I started filming my adventures on 2B.
Yeah, yeah. How do you think Tubi's, been shaped by the YouTubers?
Uh, Drastically. I mean,
Like for the good or
it's
for the
a
bad, really?
it's for the bad, obviously. You know, it's sad to say, because Camping Rusher and everybody, myself included, have ruined 2B from what it was. 2B was supposed to be this hidden special place for only people in the know, and then it got raided, and then it's no longer what it used to be. I remember hearing about people that, they could talk about their personal lives in chat. They could, have real conversations in chat. Chat nowadays has divulged into spam and ads. I turn off chat now. It's just it's not even fun to read chat. If unless someone's talking to me on Discord, I for the most part ignore 2B2T chat, and it's
Yeah.
it's never going to be what it was, and that's an unfortunate thing because I would have loved to play the server back in the day, but I will never get that.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just another thing you have to remind yourself is like, say for example, in Frickin's interview when he said that House was legitimately going to destroy the server. He was going to either sell it or just shut it down entirely because he didn't have a whole he didn't have the passion for it anymore. And really,
Mm-hmm.
I understand the whole thing of the more YouTubers who come on, the worse the server's atmosphere it gets. But it you wouldn't really have 2B without the big YouTubers such as Russia. And I understand like Ant Venom, Etika, those are all people who didn't need to come. The server was gonna survive either way. It's just
Mm-hmm.
you have to realize like these YouTubers, they're the people who you have to say, okay, you know what? Thank you for saving this thing because without you, it wouldn't really be here.
Oh, obviously it had to be saved, otherwise it would have shut down. But I think a probably smaller YouTuber would have been a lot better for it than Camping Rusher.
Yeah, that's a good
Because
point. Yeah.
if it would have been like 100,000 YouTuber, 500,000, that probably would have been a lot better. But it wasn't just the Camping Rusher. Like I said, there was a whole series on Imgur talking about the history of 2B2T that came out around that exact same time. And there was obviously the incursions before, the little mini incursions, with the rock paper shotgun article. Was it the IGN one? There was a
Yeah.
book that put it out. So there was little ones here and there. I think if it would have been a much smaller YouTuber with around 100 to 500,000 subscribers, that probably would have been a good lifeline to keep it going, but still keep it close enough to its original self as it was.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. And actually, I sort of disagree with you in saying that you and Sal sort of worsen the thing on Tubi, because I feel like the differences between you and Sal and the other YouTubers, and I'm using you two as a prime example because you two are the third biggest, you know, or second and third biggest channels have been born from Tubi, and I think I speak for a lot of people in that saying you guys don't milk it. You make videos on the things that are needed to be made on, like say for example, Sal's video on the lost book exploit, where almost everybody forgot about it, but some things that say for example, Frickin said in my interview, or this Trump underscore 17 guy said in his sort of biography of Jack the Ripper. It's just you guys say it how it is, and I've noticed that you guys don't really try to milk it.
Yeah, I actively play. I've been pretty much AFK, doing something right now
Yeah.
for the last couple days. I'm not going to say what I'm doing, but I'm have to AFK it for a while, and but yeah, I play. I go off exploring. I'm trying to do builds. I'm trying to build up my museum, but with House's recent plugins, the what was it just today? Got rid of stacked items, rid of 32Ks. That takes a big chunk out of a whole wing of my museum of items I had been collecting.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do little projects. I probably should do a lot more projects instead of just exploring. I literally would just set my character in one direction and just go. But sometimes I get in the build mood. Sometimes I just want to do absolutely nothing. But yeah, I thoroughly do enjoy playing on 2B2T when it's fun, not when there's the stupid lag or it's always down, or just something ridiculous. But yeah, I do enjoy playing it. Just the sights to see the interesting people. The people that play on 2B2T are interesting. Um, yeah.
Yeah, actually, something I wanted to just point out. No one cared about that whole nomad thing, or I mean, no one really took a notice, and no one really wanted that whole nomad, like the life of the nomad that Fit made. But I gotta say, something that really got my attention, And something I actually has been thinking about, I think for weeks now, that video you made on the that scientist that, like, it's not in this state, it's not in that state, and you were
Oh, Schrodinger.
yeah, Schrodinger grief.
Yeah.
That video was so incredibly interesting. For those who are wondering, it's in the description. I'll link it, and it's such a good watch. It's an amazing video, and I've noticed that you and Sal, like I said, you don't milk Tubi, and me, and I'm sure all of my viewers commend you for that.
I mean, so I will sometimes. I mean, sometimes some people give me some stuff, like that whole pop-up portal thing. Um,
Yeah, that was a little.
that was a milk, obviously. I mean, sometimes I do like to show things that show the back history of certain things on 2B2T, and a lot of people give me grief for that. Why are you showing these kind of things? It's going to get destroyed. I'm sorry, but I mean, this is an anarchy server, and you can't really protect something forever.
Yeah, it's
A
true.
lot of people, a lot of people don't like me when I do things like that. Uh, but it's speaking of the whole Schrodinger thing. So I was going to do a follow up on that. Uh, so when the test server was online, I actually flew out the location where it's at. So I know the state of it. So I was going to do this whole another Schrodinger type thing where you can see another state of it without ruining the original state.
Yeah.
There's a scientific term I don't remember. I have to I have to Google it. But yeah, I was going to do like a little follow up for that.
God, but that was a pretty nice video. I like that a lot because it's such an insane concept, and the fact that you could apply it to Minecraft, let alone 2Bs, it's great.
Well,
Anyway,
and the thing that I'm doing it to my own build. I mean, that's that inverted
yeah.
sand pyramid. That's 11,000 blocks of sand and 11,000 torches. So that was a build that I built over the course of a week. And I had planned on building it a lot higher, but I got bored building it. So I stopped. But still, it would be huge. And I mean, it definitely lags a single player if you grief it and the whole thing falls down. So I would actually one day I would love to actually go out there and grief it live on stream and just see if the TPS takes a hit.
I mean, all that falling sand. It depends on how big you made it.
It goes out, so it's above like 150Y. So
Oh,
from
oh
ground level.
God. Okay.
Yeah, so and it goes out. So probably it's around what 75. So 75 by 75.
Okay, that's a decent.
That's
That's a
yeah, that's at
decent
the
amount.
top. Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're getting a little bit off topic. So let's get back to you, man, and your impact on things, and I want to know your reaction when you reached 50,000 subscribers.
uh, I didn't believe it. I still don't believe it. It to me it doesn't feel like 50,000. When I first joined, I had 34 subs on 2B2T. I barely would get views on any of my videos. I would get 0 views, 2 views here. And when I joined 2B, I'm watching Netta T, Jediah, Dr. Zombie, Taragadude, Camping Rusher, Fit. I was watching all these guys. And, uh, I was seeing Netta T and Doc with like 3,000 subs, and Toro was like 10,000. I was like, wow, 10,000 subs, man. If I could get to 10,000, that would be freaking amazing. That would mean to me like I made it. Because when I would see Toro or Taragadude, for people that don't know, when I'd see Toro with his 10K subs and everybody's in chats like Toro, 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 I was like, wow, man, he's famous, he's known.
Yeah.
And then I got to 10,000 subs February of 2019. So a little over 2 years on being on 2B2T. It took me to get to 10,000 subs. And I was like, wow, I was like, I finally made it. I got here. And then it jumped to 20K in April, 30K in July, 40K in August, and then 50K in September. So it was like boom, 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 boom. And it still hasn't registered with me yet. I see the number, but it doesn't feel like the number, if that makes a sense. Anything
Yeah.
to you. And yeah, the whole summer times are always big for Minecraft or YouTubers, because the kids are out of school, they're all watching videos, and it's every summer I get these huge subscriber jumps. And last summer was like the perfect storm for Minecraft YouTubers because it was popular again. PewDiePie was live streaming it. and it was just so fast. I was like, that's why I did I was planning on doing like every 5,000 do a subscriber special, and I did that 5,000, and then it went to 10, 20, and I was like, it went so fast. I was like, okay, I got to record the 10K subscriber special. Oops, I'm already at 20. Let me do the 20. Oops, I'm already at 30. So I was like, it just didn't register with me. So when I have this mentality in my head that Toro's 10,000 subs is a lot more than the 50K that I had, and it's not because of any number. It's just the mentality of it to me has not registered.
Yeah, it's like obviously I don't I wish, but I don't know what it feels like. It's I can imagine on some level, but God, it would have been insane to just
It's
have
it's
that.
it's really day and night. I mean, I don't consider myself some famous person. Like I'm talking about, I don't. I still feel like I'm under 10,000 subs. So when I get online and I'm starting to get message after message after message, people saying, "Hey Barren, I love your videos. I love your videos," and I appreciate that. And I try to respond to them. I'm like, "Thank you. I appreciate that." And I really do. Uh, but I don't expect it. I still don't expect every single time I see it. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense. I understand. Yeah, yeah, and to be honest, you saying earlier that I keep the chat off, that sort of I can imagine for some people that that crushes their expectations of speaking to BarrenDome.
Well, no, I mean, I can still get the whispers. If you toggle chat, it just toggles all the junk off, but you still get
Oh,
whispers.
oh, okay, okay.
But I miss the stuff in like if normal chat, people will say, "Oh, BarrenDome's online," and they'll say this and that and this or whatever else they'll say, and I miss if because sometimes I'll see what people talking about in chat. Sometimes I watch and I'll see them mention something, and then I'll just retort right back to them like, "Oh, BarrenDome's not paying attention to me." I was like, "Oh yeah, I am, fool. I see you." So if I can, I honestly try to respond to everybody, and I try to do that with my Discord too. People message me. Obviously, if they're trolling me, I'm just gonna ignore them. But I generally try to talk to everybody that tries to message me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is always good. Yeah, yeah, giving the people who enjoy your videos that sort of like hey, I see you. It's
What's really upsetting though is that because on YouTube you can check out your analytics and everything like that.
yeah, mine's
90
depressing at the moment because I haven't uploaded in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I know the feeling, dude. I barely upload myself nowadays. But I look at the analytics of my viewership, and 90% of my views are unsubscribed. I hate that. I hate that so much. It bothers me.
Hear that, fuckers? Subscribe, man. Christ. I don't think it's that bad for me. I think like about 50% of the viewers, are subscribed, which is
Yeah.
insane. That's an amazing number. But still, man.
I mean, it's not that it matters for monetization. I mean, they're going to watch the videos. They're going to watch the videos. It doesn't matter. But for me personally, I was like, wow, you've got 90% of my viewers that aren't subscribed to me. Why aren't you subscribed to me? You're watching my videos for some odd reason. And then, when you have a video, I have one video with over 1 million views, and then I have another at 800K. It's like, wow, if I had a tenth of those subscribers, I'd be at 100K right now.
Man, give it time. You're at 50, what,
I'm trying.
57.4
I
now?
59.2
What the hell? It grew three fucking thousand by the oh my god, this is stupid, man. Okay.
during the winter. If I put out a video, if I put in out an AMP video, I'll get about 100 subscribers a day.
Fuck me. Uh,
My best month ever was August. It was 8,900 in 1 month.
oh my god. Weird flex, but okay. Oh, okay. That's
It's funny. I tell my wife that, and she goes, "Wait a minute, people watch you play Minecraft." I go, "Yeah." She just shakes her head. She goes, "I can't believe you. I don't get it." I go, "I don't get it either." But
yeah,
hey,
man. Zoomers are a weird species.
that's right.
God.
I love you, Zoomers.
Oh, God, boomers are pretty weird too.
Hey, I checked my analytics. I have 2% of my viewers are over 65.
Okay, that's still a couple. That's I think that's still a couple thousand. I don't know how to feel about that. Anyway, man, that's that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool to think about. God, your wife doesn't believe it. That's a sort of punch in the gut.
No, it was funny. I think when I was around, I was always joking with her. I was like, "Hun, I got 5,000 subs. Do you love me now?" She goes, "Come back to me
Oh,
when
do
you
you
come
love me?
back to me and you got 50,000. Come back." And I'd be like, "I got 10. I got 20." And then when I told her I got 50, she goes, "Come back when you got 100,000." I was like,
Oh my
"Oh, okay."
God. You got your work cut out for you, man. God. Anyway, so you being one of the, if not, um, yeah, no, the third biggest to be born YouTuber that has ever, stepped foot on
Mhm.
to be, everybody knows of you. But what are your thoughts on other big YouTubers on Tubi?
Okay, well, since you mentioned I'm the third biggest, we'll just talk about the top two, Sal and
Okay.
Fit.
Yeah.
So let's start with Sal. I love Sal's content. I love the way he does his video, and I love the way he edits his
Oh
videos.
yeah,
I'm
he has
actually
a
really
beautiful style. Oh
he
my God,
does.
I love it.
I'm really jealous of how he edits that video. I don't know if he went to film editing school, but I got to take a film editing class and step up my game because the way he does his videos is just it's on point. He doesn't do the 10-minute minimum
Yeah,
YouTube
he doesn't care.
thing. Yeah, he gets to the point. 3-minute video, 1-minute video. Okay. And he sums it up right there. And it's just the way he edits it and the way he frames it. Um, it's just on point. I love how he has a distinct font and color.
Yeah,
I don't,
like an
yeah,
amazing intro that he just like.
he,
It's amazing.
yeah,
I love him.
it's, I don't have an artistic bone in my body to make something like that. And it makes me so jealous. But yeah, I love the way he does his work. Uh, it, he's on point, and I hope him the best with his channel. And he definitely deserves a lot more subscribers than he gets.
Oh yeah, no, he's great. He really is. He's a pleasure to talk to as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, me too. I cannot draw for the life of me. I'm into 3D modeling, but I can't. I'm not artistic in that sort of sense. Like, I had to get someone, one of these guys from the Last Templars, shout out to Yix, or I think that's how his name is, pronounced. He made the channel banner for me, and I just can't do it. I just can't. I can't. And then you see Sal with his, with his original sort of font and his drawing thing. That drawing
Yeah,
animation, I
it
love
just
it so much.
it comes out like it's so simple. Like, oh my god, this is perfect. Why didn't I think of doing something like that? It's just the way
Yeah.
he does it. It's just awesome.
Yeah, and he's done it from like the first video, and
Yep.
yeah, it's something to think about. Anyway, what about Fit?
Okay. All right, I'm gonna dial this up to 11 for you.
All right, beautiful.
I'm not gonna repeat basically what we already know and all say about Fit. It's been said. My biggest problem with him, and something I'm never gonna forgive him for, is that he brought a already mentally unstable person to 2B who had a history of suicidal attempts, and he basically subjected this person to hundreds of players telling him to kill himself every single day, minute by minute. And he did it for the views and the money, and basically Fit threw etiquette to the wolves, and the wolves ate him alive. So I know that Fit likes to church up his videos for the kids, but the underlying narcissism clearly showed in this case.
Yeah, actually, while I was getting some questions for you, quite a few people in the podcast community actually, brought me to the attention of your not necessarily deep hatred, but your dislike for him and his practices. In that, he's just, in
I
as
mean,
everybody thinks, view hungry.
it's not a I mean, other than that, I have no problems with the guy. He's doing what he does. He knows his he knows how to dial this in. He's got it in. He's getting the subscribers. He's got the voice.
Oh
He
yeah, the
knows
voice
how
is
to.
orgasmic.
He's got it down packed, and I can't fault the guy for being for getting into the YouTube thing and excelling at it. I'm not going to fault the guy for that. He knows how to do it. He knows how to pander it. And he just does. Uh, but the whole etiquette thing, just sickened me to my stomach. And he pretty much just dumped him after that. So that was my thought on that. Sorry to bring down the mood, but that's how I am on
No
that.
worries, no worries, no worries. Yeah, no, we can get the mood back up in the next question, but
Well, actually, since I talked about them, let me talk about myself on my thoughts as a 2B2T YouTuber.
oh,
Since I
beautiful.
talked about
Yes,
them,
of course,
I
yeah.
got to give myself some justice. So my editing is always half-assed. Like I said, I don't have an artistic bone in my body, and I've really been thinking about taking some video editing classes or something to step up my game. I just sometimes I don't know how to edit it to make it come off polished, if you know what I
Like
mean.
Sal.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. It's just I wish I had that kind of in there. I need to get a style down, and I always felt like I don't have it. Um, my other biggest thing is I have a very inconsistent upload schedule. There was one week I think I uploaded 5 videos in a week. Then there was like 1 month I uploaded like one. Um, like I've said before, I have a full time job, I have a family, and this is a, and then I play Minecraft, and then the YouTube thing is last. It's like a hobby for me. So when I'm doing stuff, and I'm like, oh, this would be a cool video, and I'll eventually record something like that. I mean, I have stuff recorded from 6 months ago. I haven't even gotten around to editing yet, just because I'm like, I'd rather go dupe for 3 days straight than make a video that could bring me in money. I gotta dupe all this useless junk. Uh, but yeah, I'm very inconsistent on my upload schedule. Uh, when I do stream, I don't schedule it. I just surprise, I'm streaming. Um, but yeah, that's my problems. I think if I don't want to say fix because I have to get it when I get it in. But if I could fix that, I could excel my YouTube channel a lot more. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, would it pain you in the heart to know that a couple videos I looked at your editing practices for my own?
Uh, it's a good starting plot, good starting spot. I'll give you that. Definitely room for improvement, but
Yeah,
everybody's got to learn someplace. No
yeah,
one's going to know how
definitely.
to do video editing at the very beginning. And like we had talked about before, we were talking about video editing software, and I started with Sony Vegas, but I never felt when I rendered it the quality would be good, or some of the tools I wanted weren't there because it was the Steam version, not the Pro version, which had all the extra tools that you would like. How do I do this? And you would look it up on YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, you need the Pro version, not Steam version for this." So I just recently switched to the Hit Film Express, which is completely free, and they have all these videos on how to do all cool things. So I've been trying to learn a whole new video editing software, which takes a lot of time. So
Yeah.
hopefully with that, it I learned some new tricks on how to do some video editing, maybe to make my thing more polished, as you will.
Yeah, I use this very not necessarily simple. It's so versatile. I can't believe it's free. It's called DaVinci Resolve, and like
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about it a while back. And it's good for what I need. It I can't say it's the best because it really isn't. It doesn't, it just simply doesn't have the same kind of things that you have in um you know Sony Vegas or just those things. But no, it's good for what I need.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Oh, okay. So now I want to go into unless you have anything else to say, I'm gonna go into a different necessarily topic on your travels in 2B.
No, go ahead, man.
Alrighty, so
Your show.
um, what would be some of the most, weird or say, for example, strange and unusual items you have come across? Because you have a history with many, many, many cool and kind of desiring items.
I mean, Jesus, just the alpha leaves, alpha slabs, untextured horse armor, snowball, or the untextured snowballs,
Yeah, that was kind of
e-glass,
cool.
player heads, pig spawners, stacked items, unbreakables. Uh, the things we take for granted on 2B, normal Minecraft players have their friggin' minds blown. They're like, what are these blocks you have? How do you have pig spawners? I had a message in my one of my comments in my videos. he said, "What's e-glass?" We've come full circle that players don't use e-glass anymore like they do years ago, and it's just those of us who have it, we've duped it to hell and back, and then it's just put away, never to be used again. So these new players that are coming in, like, what the heck's e-glass? I've never heard of this before. Things like that.
Yeah, I've noticed you take anybody like a genuine player on Hypixel or anything, and then you put them on regular Minecraft, and their mind just gets blown. And I remember just
where's my
even
Where's my kit?
yeah, yeah. Dr. Zombie said that in his interview. Links will be in the
Yep.
description. Um, like we were talking in like the end of his interview or something like that, where we were talking about like the invasion of Russia, and everyone was
Mhm.
like, "Where's my starter kit?" And then and then
Yeah, I
some
remember
old
that.
fag would say, "No, just do /kill and then
Yeah.
kit, and then you'll get easy diamond armor prot 4." And then the chat would just flood with death
Oh yeah.
messages. Oh, good times, good times.
But yeah,
God.
just the blocks that we have, those things. Um, when the book Chunk Dupe thing came out, creating just the weird block states that some of us created for museums. When I was at Valerian, they had their whole uh, block state museum where they had like a half portal. They had, the half beds, piston heads, just the weird things like they had an 8 stacked double chest that was mixed together. Like you would open this and your entire GUI would just be a big chest. It was ridiculous. Seeing things like that. I mean, 2B2T is basically the Mojang bug list, if you will.
Yeah, I guess so. Like if Mojang ever wants to fix their game, just take a grand look at 2B. Damn.
They seriously should have some guy at Mojang who's purely dedicated to playing on
I know,
2B2T. Like
right? Why haven't they
that's
done
your
that already?
service. What are you doing?
Why
Like get in with everybody.
why haven't they
And
done that already? You know what? Maybe they
I
are.
almost wonder I almost wonder if someone has. Like they must sense, or even the guys at Spigot or Bucket, they've got to have somebody in the game or who's embedded who starts seeing in this stuff. That's the only way I can think that it stuff like that happens and how
Yeah.
they can quickly patch things.
Yeah, like someone like Kino who just gets a hold of everything, or this guy Troll 2001. He
Mm-hmm.
just finds every exploit, and I swear to God, I'm almost convinced he's part of Mojang. Uh,
He
no.
could be.
Yeah, he could be. Who knows?
But yeah, like there are these guys out there. I mean, you're on an Anarchy server. You can do whatever you want to do. There's guys that just spend all day trying to find exploits. Mr. Chocho was one of them. So
Yeah,
remember him?
of course.
He would
Yeah.
just he had a whole area built at his Hope base that was built purely for trying to find exploits and dupes.
Yeah, wasn't he that one guy, or no, not that one guy, but didn't he? Wasn't he one of the first people to figure out how to properly put on stacked armor?
I I think so. Somebody he did something.
I know he made a video about it, and like that blew up. And it
Mm-hmm.
may be just because he was one of the first people to do it. I don't know. Anyway, that's where I primarily remember him by. Uh, anyway, so something also I've been wondering, and so many other people, uh, what it would be, some of the most crazy things you have done, not come across, done on the server.
So I started the chat incursion. You know what that was?
Yeah, but some viewers may not, so maybe refresh their memory.
Okay. So when before Minecraft 1.11, the chat limit was like 100 characters. You could only type 100 characters in chat. When 1.11 came out, the chat limit was increased to 255 characters. And I remember seeing a post on Reddit where someone had created ASCII art using that 255 limit. So what I did is I copied a bunch of those things, and one day on one of my alts, I pasted in the chat and I hit enter, and the screen blew up. People thought it was house. They didn't know what was going on. Um, that was actually the first time Toro. I saw Toro talk in chat towards me. He's like, "What the heck?" But yeah, I did this whole thing and it blew up, and then eventually House had to revert it, so it was only down to like back to the 100 character limit. Otherwise, imagine chat now if you saw the whole screen of chat full of just people spamming the entire time. So that was pretty crazy. Uh, I was also the first person to do the first 360-degree video on 2B2T. It was in the Nether. The quality was not that good because you had to record at like a really high uh, resolution, and when it shrunk down, it kind of lost some of the ability. So probably filming in a dark Nether was not the smartest thing. But yeah, it was the first 360. You could spin around, you could see all the different areas, and then I think a couple years later, somebody else did like live streaming 360-degree video. I can't remember who it was. I think it was UFO Crossing. He did that. He did his whole live streams with 360 degrees. I was also one of the few people to the end world border. That was like a week's of AFK flying.
Holy hell.
In the end. What was cool is because the exploit at the time that we used, this was before Unbreakables, but it didn't use the durability up of your elytra. You're basically walking and flying at the same time. So I just walked and I never used up a single durability of the elytra.
Christ.
I was beat by a few hours by Armor Smith. He beat me. He actually went to the corner. He literally beat me by a few hours. I was really upset about that, but good on him though. I helped do the map art renaissance on 2B2T. So before I did that, my map art video, I think the 2B2T, what's it called? Map artists of 2B2T, their Discord had like less than 700 members. There's a lot of the dedicated guys that do the map art and everything like that. After I did my video, it jumped up to over 4,000 members. I don't know what it is nowadays, but I mean, I would still love to keep doing maps, but obviously the printer for Schematica is busted now, so doing map art by hand now is really difficult.
Yeah, honestly, I remember when you did that whole chlorine, or the Clorox, Clorox map
I mean, that
art.
was the 3 glasses a day, the Clorox bottle.
Yeah, that was kind of hilarious, and I was actually surprised you'd make that joke because, Gen X's and mid boomers wouldn't really make that. Anyway, I've made a couple map arts in my time, and none any too special. There was one detailed one, but I never used printer. I just built it by hand.
I mean, if they're depending on what it is, I mean, because if it's very intricate or if it's a 3D one, yeah, I'd want to use printer. I mean, it got to a point where I think I could do it in like an hour with printer. If I had all the materials gathered and ready, I could completely do the whole map in an hour.
Okay, gotcha.
And that was a flat map, not a 3D one. I've never actually made a 3D map. Those scare me. That just seems like so much more work than I'm ready to commit to. I would like to eventually one day. I mean, I've already prepped some maps that I want to create. I mean, I did that really detailed map. And that was a 2D map, and I've already set aside some maps I want to do that are 3D. But at this point, I want to wait till Schematica or the printer option works again, because that would just be so much work to do.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've spent a little bit of time on that. I want to go on to something that I think you're gonna have a lot of fun talking about. That is, what's the full story on your the very notable and the very famous playlist on your channel, Challengecraft.
Well, it came up for a time where I was trying to grow my channel, and I didn't want it to just be about 2B2T stuff. I still wanted to do some Minecraft stuff, so I had been looking up, what are some challenges out there that I could try to do. I mean, I've been playing 2B. It's on hard mode. I had done all the 1.12 advancements. I was like, what's some other challenges out there that I can do? So I was looking around one day and I stumbled upon these guys, Blazing Caves. They had built a custom advancement pack for 1.13, and it had like 500 additional advancements. So, I thought that this would be a really good thing to live stream, and I can invite some people from my Discord that I had known and trusted, and we could kind of do it together and see how it would go. And that was basically it. It was me streaming, doing all these advancements. And I mean, some things I would stream, some things I wouldn't, because there'd be a lot of stuff that was just a lot of monotonous traveling or grinding. I mean, it literally got to, like, some of the advancements were really to get like a stack of everything. You literally had to get a stack of everything.
What the fuck?
So that's just like the advancements. There was one where you had to take uh, a husk from the desert, transport him to a cold biome and kill him, and then take what's the skeleton in the snow called?
God, what is it?
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Stray,
And
stray,
then you had
stray,
to
stray, stray.
stray, yeah, and then you had to take him to a hot biome and kill him. It was just, it was just so much, but it was very ingenious of some of these advancements that you had to do. Uh, use your elytra and with a trident fly above like 500 Y, go 100,000 in the end. Just stuff like that normal people don't do. That you have to kind of think about what you're going to do and do some pre-planning. So that's kind of what it was. It was like, can I do this? And obviously I did. I did all the advancement. And then after that, I got the idea. I saw someone do a no crafting challenge. They did a whole series. Can they beat the game without crafting something?
Yeah, I
So
remember
it
I
was
saw
just,
that.
yeah. So, well, I mean, no crafting table. They could still use the 2x2 crafting. And I was like, well, obviously you can beat the game, but what else can you do? Can you actually build up a whole base? So I built an iron golem farm. I built some automated farms, and just I built some other things, and I ended up beat the game without ever using a crafting table.
My God,
Um, so I
bravo.
mean, uh, so I kind of been thinking about some other series that I want to do, and of course, I stumble upon a Technoblade who does that exact same thing. So I'm like, great. Now I I'm in competition with this guy because he comes up with some really cool challenges to try to play on Minecraft. Like he did one the other day. It was he always plays on hard mode. He did one where TNT spawns on him every 10 seconds.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
So he's always on the move. He can't stop, or he's got to do things where he plans to have the TNT spawn so he can break up the blocks or break things for him. But yeah, so now I got to think of whole new things because I can't take any of his ideas.
Yeah, God. Speaking of people allegedly stealing ideas, I swear to God, Sal. This is a whole story. This is gonna just take like 120 seconds to say. Because I've explained this to too many people, including all of the bastards at the Last Templar who keep teasing me about this. Um, So when I was making the whole the different servers in Anarchy video, literally 2 days before I was gonna release mine, he released his, and I was like, fuck. Thankfully he didn't do many of the servers that I had in my list. And my list had like different, specific information. Like his had him playing on it. I had different information on it, and and then he made another one just as I was
Yeah,
making another one.
he did. I did that follow up.
Yeah, and I was saying in the back of my head, you fucking Sal, you fucking. I don't know how. He must be an alien. He just sneaks in my head. And then, God, so many people were just saying, yeah, no, he's just an alien, you know. And I, in the back of my head, I know he just crawled into my mind and stole those two ideas. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill the guy.
You saw the one where he does the nether water, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So at the very beginning of the video, he's looking at the signs that are there, and he zooms over my sign, which was from like 4 months earlier. And I know he's probably thinking in his head, how come Barren didn't do a video about the nether water, even though he's been here? I could see when he's like he like slowly moves the camera over and he just stops on it. I know he's got that thought in his head. I should ask him that one day.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God. But he's a gem. We all love him.
Mm-hmm.
We can't help but yeah.
Can't hate the guy. He's hilarious. I love
Yeah,
him.
yeah, he's great. Uh Now something I also want to know and going through your Discord and even going through your YouTube channel with the
Mhm,
whole glorification of Hammerbeam. I want to know the full
mhm.
history on it.
Well, Hammerbeam's not my base. It was actually started by Casual and maker of mine. Wow, sometime in 2017, 18. I don't know, maybe it was 17. But I didn't join their base until like February of 2018. So this was a very beautiful base that it was a Casual MC, Makara Mine. They were both 2B2T YouTubers at the time, so they were pretty big. They were a couple hundred subscribers at the time. Also, there was Morbid Rain, Total Darkness, Indus, and Hammerknot, and it was this beautiful natural base. Sometimes you see a lot of bases that are just schematic builds, but this base just flowed, and it felt like a real living base. They had a village that they had planned on completely stocking with villagers to make it like a real life base. They had
Uh huh.
uh, like they actually had their own little base areas that they were building for themselves. I'm trying to remember. They had this huge, beautiful stable with all the different horses that they built. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. They had a huge central area, some underground areas, automatic farms. I mean, it was a living, working base. There's literally everything you could have got there. You didn't need to dupe any natural blocks. The whole base could have created it. So I guess they had been talking about inviting me for some time. Uh, and I eventually agreed to come out to the base and kind of hang out with them for a while. So from February to May, I stayed at Hammerbeam. I was helping them rebuild their. They didn't have I think a good iron golem farm, or they didn't even have one. But I helped them build up an iron golem farm, and I rebuild up their villager breeder. Their villager breeder was probably 4 villagers at the time. It would, with 2B's TPS, you get like a villager a day, maybe. So I built this breeder that would just make villagers faster than rabbits could have babies.
Oh my god.
This thing would spit out villagers like nobody's business. And I then had this idea we were going to build a trading hall. And I had an idea to build a simple one. I mean, the one I have at my base is probably 20 villagers, a couple of things. And I was thinking at the time, I was like, wow, 1.13 is coming out soon. We're going to want villagers that have the other enchantments, the channeling, the whatever ones for the tridents. And I was like, you know what? I wonder if I can make a trading hall where we can have a villager that sells every max enchantment and max item. So I ended up making a 96 villager trading hall.
Holy hell.
And the day after it was completed, the base got griefed.
Oh no. Oh my god, that's short lived. Holy
Yes.
shit.
Yeah, it was massive. I can't remember if it was Casual or Mine used to state that when they would come down there, it would lag out their computer. I don't think he had a higher end computer, but it would lag out his computer just because of all the villagers. We also had a cow farm where it would automatically turn all the babies, or they'd grow up and they would get steaks. So we had all these cows around there too, automatic pumpkin melon farms, sugarcane farms. You had 2 AFK fishing areas and a zombie grinder all in that area. So if you AFK'd in one area, all that stuff would generate.
My god.
And the iron golem farm too.
Oh my.
But yeah,
God, you guys
pretty
are
much like a day or two after it got griefed.
God, you guys are stacked. It's such a shame that got griefed. I remember
Yes.
seeing just screenshots and videos of it. It was such a beautiful base.
It was a very beautiful base. And I remember when I first got there and I was seeing around, I was like, God, and I'm horrible with building. To me, when I build, I'm very utilitarian. So I build for it to work. I don't care what it looks like. If it does the job, it's good enough for me. So on a lot of my videos lately, you'll see just a cobblestone hole with hundreds of chests, because that's where I just store all my junk.
Nice, nice.
But when I went there and I helped to build the first iron golem farm, I built it up out of stone, the generic one that everybody freaking built. And then Morbid Rain started going around and he's building this intricate pixel art of an iron bar, and he's got the poppies. And I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta step up my game. He's making this whole area look beautiful, and my golem farm looks like pure garbage. So I tore the whole thing down, rebuilt it in iron blocks, and I redesigned how the doors uh, line up. So instead of them all, facing to the sides, if you re-angle them, I had them pointed in just the four corners instead of the sides, and we built it on the ground so it would work just with 4 points of skylight instead of needing all the sides showing skylight. And it was built out of iron. It had the iron bars, and the whole thing matched up the motif. So yeah, I definitely had to step up my game when I was working around Morbid.
Oh, Morbid's a he's just a unit.
He is. Yeah, his builds are just on point. He doesn't. I mean, if he schematics something, he builds it in his own single player worlds first, and then when he brings it to wherever he's building it, then he'll use schematic. But he doesn't download off stuff off Planet Minecraft. He doesn't do any of that. His stuff is more organic, and the builds he has, like I don't know if you've ever seen a world download of Hammer Beam, but you'd go into each of the buildings, and each of the buildings had its own story. Like there was the pub. It had like caskets for the ale. There were signs on the, this person's pub, and it was just every building had a story. And I mean, Christ, the base had its own sewer system.
God, it was so
it was
intricate.
Completely unused. No one's unless you were down there, and I did the video on it, just walking the sewer. But it's something you don't see, so why would you build it? But it's just the details like that just make Morbid just an awesome builder.
Oh yeah, no, he's an absolute lad, and yeah, I wish him all the best. I haven't heard
Mm-hmm.
much of him recently, but just I hope he's doing very well.
He's with another base right now. I don't want to say who, because I don't know if there's too much public on the base and who's a member. But he plays every now and then still on 2B, and he builds when he has time. He like the rest of us, he's got a job, so job comes first, and then when he's got time, a lot of us think of 2B as the place to chill out, unwind, uh, get out of the real world for a little bit and do our own thing. So
Yeah,
that's how he is.
just live amongst the anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
And and speaking of morbid rain, the next question would be, really, how'd your relationship sprout with him, and how'd you become such really good friends with him?
Well, like I said, I met him at Hammer Beam. That was the first time I really met him. I was hugely impressed with his builds. We started doing little builds here and together. We worked a lot together on the Iron Golem farms and the Villager Breeder. And, one of the few people that I've actually done a lot of Discord talking with. So we've done a lot of talking about our real lives and things like that. So he's one of the few people I've actually talked about real world stuff with. We've played on Constantium together. We built 2 bases on Constantium together. The first one still stands to this day. We just kind of every now and then just kind of log in just to see how it's going, and then we'll log out. But yeah, hugely impressed with him. He's one of the only people that I've ever trusted, and I trust him as the only moderator in my Discord. So it's the kind of guy I think he is.
Yeah, he's a very very sharp and stand up guy. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I wanna not necessarily stay on Minecraft, but I want to go into something that I've been wondering, and I'm sure hundreds, if not thousands, have also been wondering. Really, what's their history with the Air Force? Because you've talked about it in little chunks here and there, but I wanted to know if you could really elaborate.
Yeah, sure. I'll basically give you a rundown of my entire career, uh, as brief as
Okay,
possible, and
alrighty.
we'll kind of, if you have a specific question after that, we'll kind of just jump from there.
Yeah.
So, we'll start back in the day, probably before some of these viewers were born. But I graduated high school in 1994, and though I had applied for colleges, I actually applied to Boston University, and I was accepted. I didn't go because I didn't want this huge college debt. And I had kept working at my job. Little trivia that no one knows, but now they'll find out. I actually worked at a YMCA. I was a lifeguard, and I taught kids swim lessons on Saturdays. So I continued to do my high school job up until about 96. And one day I got a random phone call from a Marine recruiter, as most guys do. They get the calls from the military and they go, "Hey, you want to join the Marines?" I was like, you know what? I'm not doing anything with my life. I might as well. And I almost joined the Marines until my dad told me, hell no. If you're going to join the military, you go to the Air Force. So the next day, I called up the Air Force and I thought about recruiting, mainly because I still wanted to go to college, but I didn't want to be in debt. And the military has this beautiful thing called the GI Bill, which completely pays for college.
Dude,
And I was like,
same. Canada, man. Yeah.
so I joined the Air Force. And when you join the military, I don't know about the other branches of the American military, but when you join the Air Force, they ask you to write down what jobs you want to apply for. And depending on what ones you apply for, you usually sometimes have to take extra tests. So the first one I applied for was computer programmer. Second one was computer operator. Third one was combat photographer, because I was big into taking photos back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And so I had to take a computer programming test, and I didn't do so good. So I got into computer operator, luckily. And then I went to basic training for 6 weeks, and then I went to my technical school in Biloxi, Mississippi for 12 weeks to learn to be a computer operator, where we learned Windows, installing Windows, setting up computers. We learned Unix. And then after the 12 weeks, I went to my first duty station in Spangdahlem Air Force Base, Germany, where I had the time of my life. Europe is beautiful, and traveling around Europe is awesome, and Germany is an awesome country.
Oh, did you
So,
speak a little bit of German?
no. Well, bitte ein bit.
Wunderbar, wunderbar. Das ist gut, das ist gut.
That's
Anyway,
all I
sorry,
know.
go on.
So I did my 2 years in Germany, and then I got stationed in McGuire Air Force Base, New Jersey, which is the armpit of New Jersey. It was basically cow farms, and it was stinky. Luckily, the unit I was in was highly deployable. So I really loved my job in Jersey because it was we were deployable comm. So we would learn to set up computer networks for like thousands of users as quickly as possible with gear we could load onto a truck. And then when I can't remember when Kosovo was at 99, there was the whole Kosovo incident. We got deployed to England to set up comms for a aircraft refueling unit. So that was like a whole summer of just, we set up a network, it was running, and then we would drink the rest of the time. As long as the network was running, we were fine. So we had a great time there. And then after I did my 4 years in the military, I got out and I had my awesome GI Bill and I started college. So I'm back living at home, going to college full time. And one day I'm just driving, I guess, to the mall, and I see my state's Air National Guard recruiter sign there, and it said free state tuition. I was like, huh. So I drove into the Air National Guard, and I was like, hey, I just got out of the military active college full time. Can I see about joining? And he goes, yeah, and you can still do the exact same job, just 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year. I was like, awesome. So while I was in the Guard, they were paying me to go to school, and I was pulling my GI Bill at the same time. So with the double money I was earning, I got my own apartment. And that is also where I met my wife. She was also in the Guard too. I met her shooting M16s of all places.
Beautiful, beautiful. Almost hit her, I guess.
So we hit it off from there. And then after a while, we got to talking, we were engaged. And just before we got married, I was like, I really don't like the job prospects that we have here. We don't like where we're living. I was like, let me rejoin the military. And because we were both prior active duty before, we both like traveling and doing that kind of lifestyle. We didn't like just being in one place. So I rejoined the military active duty, and my first duty station was Davis-Monthan, Arizona. And we lived there for 1 year because I put on, we have these things called dream sheets where you dream where you want to go. So I put, we want to go back to England or overseas because me and my wife both loved overseas. So we were in Arizona for a year, and then we got my follow-on assignment to Mildenhall Air Force Base, United Kingdom, where I was there for 4 years, 6 years. Jesus, I don't remember how long it was. 4 years, yeah. I was there for 4 years, and that was an awesome assignment. We did a lot of traveling. I did an entire like family Vegas vacation, or not family Vegas, but family vacation road trip throughout Europe. So we did, we went to France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Switzerland. We did tons of traveling. We loved England. But then after that, we moved to Virginia, Langley Air Force Base, where the job was lame. It wasn't as fun. I was getting up in rank where the jobs were no longer me being at the computer. It was me managing people at the computer. So it was more management than anything. I was like a staff or tech in E5, E6 at that time. So that was fun. And then the next assignment after that was Nellis Air Force Base, Las Vegas. And that was just there was nothing special about that. It was just me managing a help desk, doing tickets and fixing problems. It was really a no name thing.
Your grimy work.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I was getting close to my time. My time was coming up soon. And I realized I was like, I really don't have the skills I want to have when I get out. I had being in the military and being a computer operator, you have to learn a little bit everything. I was never specialized. So I knew a little bit of programming. I knew a little bit of server maintenance. I knew a little bit of computer maintenance, but not enough where I could be specialized enough. I knew that if I got out that time, I was going to be just working at a help desk, taking phone calls, and doing that kind of job. And I didn't see any type of future in that. That's basically what I did for 20 years, but it's not something that's going to pay the bills, help my family in the future. So I got an excellent opportunity. The military was starting to get into risk management framework, or RMF. So the whole thing about cybersecurity, it was becoming big because, everybody's getting hacked nowadays.
These damn Russians.
So the military, all of DoD had this big push that every computer network within the DoD had to have someone who was responsible for its cybersecurity. Every single network had to have somebody. And we had a couple squadrons that were just standing up their RMF program, and they wanted some computer guys to take it over. So I volunteered, and that got me the experience to be, in the RMF as being an ISO, an information systems security officer. So my squadron ended up paying for a bunch of computer certifications, Security Plus, CCNT, Cisco Certified Entry Network Technician. I got one other. It tells you how much I use it. I don't even remember what it was. But the big one I got was my CISP, the Certified Information System Professional. That's like the gold standard of certs for what I do. Like, if you want a really good cybersecurity job, you get a CISP. It's literally like saying, hey, I went to Yale. It's like, oh, shoot, we want you, kind of a thing. So with this, I definitely stepped out of doing the manual work of computers, and now it's more of a management type thing. And then when I got out of the military, I rolled right into a civilian job doing the exact same thing. Because I always knew that being with computers, unless you're staying up to date with it every single day, you will lose it and you'll be left behind. So jumping to a more of a management and oversight, it's a lot easier to maintain the knowledge, and it's easier to gain the kind of insight into that kind of thing. So that was 22 years wrapped up in 10 minutes.
Damn. Okay. Good. Good to know. Where are you at now with it?
With the military?
Yeah.
I retired 1 year ago 7 days ago. Yeah, November 1st, 2018, I retired. So I've officially been a civilian for a year now.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, it's good that you keep, doing what you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and it pays the bills.
Yeah.
It's not a stressful job. I don't come home stressed every single day. Uh, but I like it. I understand it because I'm a very I like the way I learn is I read things. So for me, I have to follow things by the rules. So when something is written down and I read it, I understand it. It's abstract concepts that are harder for me. Gotta read something, and that's how my learning. That's how I learn stuff.
So let me guess, you're shit at open-end questions, but you're great at math.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, trust me. Anyway,
So with that, most people are probably like, wait a minute, he just said he did 22 years in the military. 16 or 20. Yeah, I'm actually in my 40s. For those that
damn.
are confused by my voice,
Oh God. God, you ever been in
I'm
the
not a boomer.
military?
I'm a Gen Xer.
Gen X. You've been in the military for a lot longer than I've been alive, man.
Yeah, huh?
God damn. It's weird. It's weird. You're weird, man. God. Okay. Anyway, so this actually comes up to a follow-up question that I'm really sort of wanting to understand. Why
Mm-hmm.
the hell would you disclose so much info about your real life on an anarchist community?
It's definitely a double-edged sword, man. Yeah, especially being on 2B2T, and you learn the previous histories of some things that people have done to other people. Um, it's for me, I say I'm introverted. I'm kind of introverted. Like, I want to connect with people, and being the way I am, uh, I can't. I don't like just going up. Hey, you want to be my friend? I express myself kind of through my videos, and that way people can see the kind of person I am. Uh, so when people see my videos and they see how I act, it's genuine. I'm not pretending to be this kind of person. This is who I am. Uh, so when people see it, that they can relate to me, they can say, "Hey, this person sounds real. Sounds like somebody I'd actually want to play a game with, and I'd want to hang out with." And obviously, being a YouTuber, you know, the personal stuff helps you connect with the viewers. I do worry about the doxing, and God forbid if someone would do something that put my family or myself at risk, uh, or possibly being swatted. That's a real worry I do have. I really hope that people are mature enough nowadays. You've heard the stories of, there was a guy that got doxed a couple years ago and he got killed or he got swatted. That's a real worry nowadays with people doing that stupid kind of stuff. Um, I hope that there's some maturity in there. I do know that eventually it's going to happen. I'm going to get doxxed. Um, so I just have to roll with it and just take it as it goes, man. I can't be, when you have a troll and you can't fight the trolls. You just have to let it happen. So,
Yeah, yeah, I've been there. Trust me when I say I've been there. I know how it feels. It's not the best thing in the world, but it really does die down. Like you look at
mm-hmm,
any docs, like no one's gonna care in 2 weeks. No one's gonna care.
mm-hmm.
Some other big guy is gonna get doxed, and no one's gonna care about yours. Um, Actually, saying that will probably make a shit ton of people try to look up mine again. Uh, but nevertheless, man. Yeah, I guess that's one of the last, if not the second last question I have for you before we get to the holy and unholy community questions. So I guess the last one I want to ask you is, if you were to ask yourself, something to answer during a podcast, what would it be?
Something to ask myself?
Yeah.
Question. Huh. Oh, do I ever see myself quitting 2B2T?
Yeah. Do you?
Yes, I do.
Anytime when?
Uh, I had been thinking about this for a while, and yes, 2B has been very generous to me to help build my YouTube channel. I know a lot of people out there don't like the 2B2T YouTubers, they kind of hate us because we show stuff that we're not supposed to show, or we show exploits and it does stuff. Uh, but I will eventually quit 2B2T. This is not a forever thing for me. I would like to keep doing Minecraft videos, but I do see an end to my time on 2B.
Yeah, I think for some people, uh, at times myself included, just the whole community just lost its tint, lost its polish.
It's not just that, is you can't do certain things like you see other YouTubers. You can't go, hey, I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna show you how to do this build. You got to worry about terrain exploits, um, bedrock exploits, purling. If you can't purl near somebody, they trace you. It's like Jesus, I just want to build something for my viewers, but I can't even do that. I have to spend hours prepping the area first before I even can do anything. Or if I'm gonna do something, I can't put um, any worry into it. Like when I did that whole Anarchy survival thing, where I started from nothing and I did a whole survival over a whole stream of a couple days of going from nothing to building something. It was, at any time someone's going to track me down and this will end. Luckily, I finished everything I wanted to do, and but yeah, that's the kind of things you worry. But you can't build like a beautiful build on base. I would like to build one of the maps I have, but I can't do it. I would have to completely terrain, or yeah, I don't know, terraform the entire area before even thinking about that. And I'd have to terraform it out, chunks out, to prevent that. It's just a lot of extra work to do something that a lot of other Minecraft YouTubers take advantage of. And that's how I see it.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, even map arts are coming to an end. There's been lots of talk, and I think some proof here and there of exploits being introduced in the 1.13, where it's just like it's immediate where you can find a map, and
Mm-hmm.
oh god, things are getting ruined by the day, and I honestly, I honestly don't know how long it is until people call it quits.
Because Minecraft doesn't care. They're just putting this thing together for single players. They don't think about the consequences or the security they should put into this code when they build it for Anarchy servers. I mean, yeah, that's a small drop in the bucket for their customers, but you should still put that into your code for players, like
Yeah.
the lightning thing. Like they did lightning and it would go out, the sound will go out 160,000 blocks. Are you kidding me? Why does lightning sound need to go that far out?
Yeah, it's so unneeded. Anyway, man,
It's ridiculous.
yeah. So I guess that's the another questions from me to you. So
Okay.
I think it's time to go on to our community questions. Now
Alrighty.
we can go on speed round over here, because as you know, there's quite a few.
All right.
So a question coming from Tobsic. Does he know anything about the server owner? Maybe that's asking. Do you know any inside scoop on Barren, or not on Barren, on House?
Nope, not a thing. I've emailed him like twice, but no personal stuff ever. I've never had any conversations with him. I don't get priority queue for free. I don't jump in line of anybody. I pay it every single month like everybody else does. I get nothing from him.
Gotcha. Another one coming from Topsic. If the server was somehow able to support infinite players without lag, would he want it capped? And if capped, at what amount? Like, for you, what do you think is the amount of players you should be letting onto the server?
Well, I mean, if it doesn't matter, I don't care how many people come on. I mean, if it got rid of the queue, 10,000 players, don't care. Because really, it's a 60 million by 60 million world. If there's, what's the queue at right now? On weekends,
It's so fucking
it's
high.
400, so maybe a thousand players.
Yeah, this shit is honestly higher than Snoop Dogg in a greenery. I swear to God. It's stupid. Anyway, uh, coming from Laquixote. I don't know how. You know what? Laquixote. I don't know, man. he asks, why would you affiliate yourself with a cuck like Courier 6?
Courier's fine, man.
Uh,
It's nice. He's an older player, so he's been around. He sees some things. He's not he's not an asshole.
he just finds shit.
He finds shit and he tells people about shit. And like the nether water, he told me about that months ago. And he goes, "Hey, I'm going to tell you about it, but don't tell anybody." Fair enough. I went out there, I visited, put my sign, never made a video about it. And then he goes, "Hey, you want to go see uh, the Pop Bob's nether or end portal?" Sure. He goes, "But you can't tell anybody." Okay, no problem. So I go take a look at it. And then a couple weeks after that, he goes, "Hey, you know what? I gave Sal that the water you could show. He could do the video on the nether. Do you want to do the video on the portal?" I was like, "Yeah, I totally want to do the video on the things." So he tells me lots of things, and I promise not to show any of them. And I do that for a lot of people. I don't show anything unless they give me permission. And a lot of people get upset with it because if it's like that the end portal, the pop-up's end portal, people were upset about that I showed that. Like, oh my god, people are gonna go out there and destroy it. It should be maintained. Yeah, but really, it's an anarchy server. I can do whatever I want. I mean, yeah, I try to ask permission for the people that found it. They're the ones that found it. As far as I'm concerned, whoever finds it has oversight on what happens to it. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, actually, speaking
Yeah,
of
but
those, sorry.
yeah, but I mean, as far as Courier, sorry, I got off on subject on that. But as far as Courier, I like the guy. I have no problems with him. He has no problems with. So that's how it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I can understand that. And speaking of those end portals, coming from house, not the house, just
Mm-hmm.
regular house, do you feel bad for causing the mass custom end portal deletion?
No, why should somebody have a custom end portal at their base?
Good point,
House
good
has
point.
House has fixed the house master has fixed the end portals where they can't get griefed anymore. They're permanent now. They can't be wrecked. So why should someone have a private end portal at their base when the ones for the server are working and operational and can't be griefed? Sorry, I don't feel pity for them.
Gotcha, good to know, good to know. Cracking down, always a man of the law. Um,
It's like with the 32Ks that just got patched. People are complaining.
yeah,
32Ks are not vanilla. And I
yeah.
and I don't care. The people that only care about those are the PvPers. And really, you're not PvPing. You're just pulling a 32K sword out of a hopper and auroring it. You're not doing anything. So I don't feel sorry, tough love.
Yeah, bittersweet. Now coming from John 2004:10,
Ah.
yeah, I think you can understand this question. Why haven't you installed the Rusher hack yet?
So uh, I got Rusher Hack from John, mainly because I did the video on his old fags server that he got on. Uh, what was it? The invite? I can't remember. It was because on his Discord, if you get so many people to join his server, you get points, and with those points, you can purchase stuff. And I got enough points to purchase Rusher Hack. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, John. I just have not even gotten around to it. I know I play with Future a lot, and I'm just so used to Future. I would like to get around, or eventually get around to trying other hacked clients. I just have not. I mean, I even have a copy of WWE. I haven't even used it yet.
Oh, WWE
Uh,
is amazing. Oh my god, I
I
love
would
it.
I would eventually like to try to do a. I'm gonna give this away. I would eventually like to do a hacked client review of the biggest ones on 2B2T, but I want to do it in a way where I set it up in a controlled environment, like on a virtual box, and I want to be able to Wireshark it to see if it does any backdoors.
Well, a lot
I
of
want to see.
clients now, if they are sketchy, they will have been backdoor like Rusher Hack and like those other
Mhm.
things. So you can check if there's other rats in it. But I swear to God, Baron, I had that idea. I have the script. I already have the script. For fuck's sake,
Then
don't do
do it.
this to me.
Then do it, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to do
Alrighty,
that. That's
beautiful.
that's a lot of work. That's all yours.
Yaddy, alrighty. I got a couple ideas in the back of my mind anyway, so Um, next question coming from Dan. What happened to BarrenDome's hair?
I started going bald at 18. That
Man,
sucks,
it
dude.
was all the Zoomers who were just fucking giving you stress.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I started going bald at 18, and I think around when I was 20, I was like, just forget it. I'm just gonna shave it because I started to get the widow's peaks,
Oh
where the
no,
hair kind of
yeah,
goes
yeah.
back, and I was trying to grow it. I was like, forget this. I was like, I'm done, and I just started shaving, and I've been shaving it ever since. I've been bald longer than I've ever had hair. Been bald for 23 years.
How does it feel to have more hair on your chest than you have on your head?
I have to shave my chest too.
God damn.
I'm
God.
just a hairy. When you lose hair, it goes other places, so it makes my chest is hairy. I gotta shave that during the summer. It's just a big old, just like
Okay,
Chewbacca.
then then how does it feel to have more ass on your ass than in your hair, in
it's
your actual
it's
hair?
sad.
It's sad.
Sad. It's sad that you have more hair everywhere else than the one place you want it.
Exactly, exactly.
But hey, I save money on shampoo, conditioner, and haircuts. So there you go.
Beautiful. That's what it's all about, saving money.
It's worth it.
Oh my god, yeah. Anyway, coming from Momana, and actually I have a couple of them from Momana. Shout out to her. She's an old soul. I love her lots. Anyway, so when he joined 2B2T, he became instantly known and popular. What does he attribute that to?
I honestly don't even freaking know. Everybody was making videos on Tubi at that time. Everybody. It was the great YouTube movement after Rusher. I mean, before Rusher, there was Dr. Zombie, really, but everybody else was kind of like a video here, video there if they want to show something. And then after Rusher, everybody started that YouTube channel. Like I was saying, there's Netta, Jediah, Casual, Makarmine, Toro. Uh, Everybody was making freaking videos. My first video wasn't me talking, it was just me escaping spawn. And I walked out on a vanilla client, no deaths, first try, made it over 10K out. I honestly don't know. I don't know how my videos blew up. I don't get it. I don't know. I'm at a loss. Like the whole thing with the flower trail video. I don't get it. I don't know why that video has 1 million views.
I don't know either, man. It's
I don't know. I
YouTube.
want to I gotta
YouTube.
remake it.
YouTube works in mysterious ways.
It does. Yeah, but yeah, from that first video on 2B, I jumped like I don't even know. I don't know what the number was, but I instantly jumped over 100 subscribers just from that first video.
Fuck
And I was like,
off.
all right, I'll make a couple videos here and there. And I gave my first couple videos were just my review of 2B2T, and they were crappy. I had a crappy headset with a microphone. And then after that, I built that whole village out of pumpkins and then the other one out of melons. And I did this whole pretend thing with the villagers. And um, I kind of got noticed because I was almost invited to remember that when they were all doing the UHC thing
Oh
of the
yeah,
2B2T
yeah,
room?
yeah, yeah.
I was a backup to season 2. So I was almost a part of that, but I didn't get in
Gotcha, gotcha.
because
Well,
a couple of people had seen my videos beforehand.
it's all good. Don't worry, don't worry. Um, another one coming from Omana. Did he know someone in the community before he started playing?
Nope, not a single person. I
Gotcha.
jumped in knowing not a soul. I mean, I'd watched the Camping Russia videos. I had done some research. I had went on the Reddit beforehand, um, just trying to look up old history, the Face Punch forums, just looking up old pictures on, just Googling 2B2T pictures. So I was trying to learn a lot of the history beforehand. But yeah, like everybody else, when they join 2B2T, they have this immediate fear and dread that when you spawn in, there's going to be 1,000 people there all waiting to shove a sword up your butt. And literally, when I spawned in, I saw one person that ran off in the distance, and then I didn't see another person again for like a couple months.
Beautiful. Gotta love it. um, Another one coming from Omana. His videos and his art style of recording are inviting and engaging. It seems important people gave him chords and confided with him immediately. How did he gain such confidence so quickly on an Anarchy server like 2B2T?
It's kind of weird. I was like I said, I had this fear everybody's out to get you. So I was making the videos, and I would get contacted with people now and then, with some chords. Of course, I would get trolled every now and then. They would give me chords, and there'd be absolutely nothing there. So I stopped doing that without picture proof. Uh, uh, I think it was the first time I really kind of put myself out there. Was I was looking to trade for some stuff, the stuff that new players don't have, like the e-glass player heads, stuff like that. So I got contacted by a 2B2T player. I was like, hey, you want to trade with me? And he was really the first person I met up with to trade with and meet. And we took, the screenshots. And then from slowly there was, just slowly getting out there, talking to people. I'm always hesitant about going out and meeting groups of people. I don't know. I'm kind of off put it, like the Halloween thing. Um, I went out there, but I'm always at arm's length away. If you get my drift, I
Yeah.
never quite feel comfortable around groups of people or other players. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you're an extroverted introvert, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I am. I'm
Yeah.
I'm the guy that's at the party and I'll hang back, but if I know you, I'm your best friend and I'll talk the entire night up to you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Gotta love
I
it.
ha- I have to I have to know the person and be comfortable around to be myself, kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure many people can understand.
Mhm.
Another one coming from Omana. Uh, did he join 2B2T to play Anarchy or to do videos for people at their bases?
I joined 2B2T to play a different style of Minecraft. I think the style that I ultimately wanted to play. Like when I was playing on Imgercraft, it was a community server. They had mods. Uh, so you have to be nice to everybody. You can't go steal their stuff. You can't go blow anything up. And this was the first time I ever used an X-ray texture pack. So I use an X-ray texture pack, and I'm hacking per se, and I'm going down. I'm getting all these diamonds, and then I get a message saying, "Hey, why don't you drop all those diamonds, please?" I was like, "Oh crap, Matt, a mod caught me." So I had it in me to try to cheat, but I got caught by the mods. Uh, so I was just looking for, I guess, I always wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. I hated that they complained that my builds would lag the server, and it really was a nothing build. It on 2B2T scale, it wouldn't put a blip in the TPS, but for that server, it was a big deal to them. So when I got onto 2B, and it felt like a freedom, like I could do whatever I wanted to do. I didn't need to go build like all these other people were doing. I could just explore. I could just uh, grief, blow stuff up, steal. So whatever I wanted to do.
Gotcha, gotcha. I mean, yeah, a lot of people came into 2B with that sort of mentality. I just want to
Mhm.
get away, because Anarchy's kind of like an escape for most, if not all, the people who play. It's
Mhm.
uh,
Absolutely.
it's such an amazing beast.
Yeah, yeah. The whole YouTube thing was the second thought. It really was the
Yeah,
second thought.
yeah, and I mean, it freaking went so well. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Uh, Now the last one from Omana, a pretty good one as well. And who were his first base mates?
Team Coca-Cola.
Oh, okay. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I kind of been doing my own thing for a while, and I got, what was this? The summer of 2017, maybe. There was Team Pepsi, and then there was the Team Coca-Cola. Everybody was on a team, and they invited me to come join them and build with them. So I was like, yeah, sure. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't really with anybody. So it was. I'm trying to remember all the people that were in it. So there was Crystal Link, Shark Caller. Jeez, I don't even remember all the other members. I think the Gender Bender did a build with us.
Oh, Gender Bender's a lad. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. So we did a build together. It was the Shelter 404. It was supposed to be the anniversary of the camping rusher coming back. So that would have been June of 2017. So we had built the shelter 404 in preparation of him coming back, and we did all these little builds. It ended up getting griefed real quick because it was only like 10K from spawn, something like that, not even far. But yeah, that was my first base. But then, we kind of all, some of them quit, some of them did their own thing. So it kind of just moved on from there, and I did my own thing again for a while. Then I joined Hammerbeam. And even though our base got griefed and most of the players don't play anymore, we still talk, and we do have an area that we had designated as Hammerbeam 2. It hasn't gotten built that much. I mean, it's a very starter area, but we've got Hammerbeam 2 there if we ever get back together and start playing again.
Yeah, imagine. Oh my god.
Yeah, but for any other groups right now, no, I do my own thing.
Lone wolf.
That's how I always am, because I play at my own time. So I always feel bad if I'm in a group and they're like, hey, let's build this, let's do this. I'm like, well, I can't today. I got work. Or nope, we're going out to the movies tonight with the family. I'm eating out tonight. Nope, I got to go do shopping with the fam. So my schedule is just all over the place. Like, my account's been AFK for the last week. Well, he's logged off right now because we're doing this, but yeah, for the last week he's been AFK doing something. Yeah.
God. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. I was gonna join the Backstreet Boys, the team, and I mean, like, I was recruited and whatever. If any of you viewers wanna join, it's a really sort of tightly knit community in the team. Links will be in the description to their Discord. It's run by iMems and Dig and Build. They're two really great guys. I love them lots. But I don't have the time to go and do all the different things that they have in store, because I got social life and school and work, and also this freaking clout generator to keep on running.
I mean, there's a lot of, I'm sure there's a lot of good groups out there that do really fun stuff together. Like, they have their own little projects, which is awesome. Like, if you're playing on here and you're in a group, you should have a project to do as a group together, as a group building activity. You absolutely should do stuff, whether it's griefing, fixing a highway, but they're doing it together. They're a group of friends playing the game, and that's really what it's about. I don't care what you do it together as friends, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, I feel like the most, or in my opinion, I know I'm not supposed to necessarily voice mine on the podcast, but in my sort of notes that I've taken of different groups, I feel as if these three groups are the most, they're the most free groups, and they're probably the best ones to go with. Number 1, Backstreet Boys, of course, BSB. 2, The Last Templar, because they're a very tightly knit community. Obviously, they're like conservative Christian. They're like no gay people. Obviously I can understand that, but it's sort of like, what the hell, man? They're people too. And then there's Highland, which is just a clusterfuck of a lot of cool and fun people. Anyway, yeah. Actually, the second last community question comes from a member of the Highland, the beloved, and I love him so much. Oh my gosh, the admin in my Discord, 3VT, asking, does being bald give you more power? Come on, it has to give you at least like 7 points more power on the power scale. Come on.
It sucks during summertime because you have to put sunscreen on your head. That's how much power you have.
Oh my god.
You ever get a sunburn on a bald head, man? It's not fun. It's a headache for like a week.
Oh my god.
I have to put sunscreen on my head. I bet you never thought you'd hear that in one of your podcasts. Huh?
No, never. That's beautiful. I'm gonna remember that forever. Just BarrenDome putting sunscreen on his fucking head.
That's right. Maybe that'll be a video this summer. I'll do one. I'll sit at the beach and I'll just put some sunscreen on. That'll be the entire video.
Please do it, please. Oh my god, that will be no, you gotta have your kids go up, not necessarily your kids, because you don't want your kids being on the internet, but someone to come up behind you and just slap the top of your head, like, and just play just a fucking drum beat with your head.
Maybe.
I'll put the visual up on screen for those who are wondering what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the last question, the most important one. You've been waiting for this. We've all been waiting for this. The tradition here on the Anarchy podcast. BarrenDome, what is your favorite cheese? Coming at you by Cabata.
All right. Well, I gave this some thought. I was like, wow, if I had to pick one cheese, because there's so many cool products out there that have cheese. Like there's grilled cheese sandwiches, pizzas, tacos, uh, sandwiches, and each kind of one of those things has to have a specific cheese. Not every single cheese works with certain things. So if I only had to pick one cheese, I would go with Swiss because I like sandwiches, I like sub rolls, and to me, a Swiss cheese is the best for a sandwich.
God, best answer for the best question. Damn, Cabata truly is. She's a master of the questions. Holy hell! It's actually kind of funny that question. I think I've said this already in an interview, but it started with going on the Troll 2001 interview with her suggestion of that, and it's just been a tradition, and I love it honestly.
No, it's good. It's good. I like it.
Oh yeah, no, it's beautiful. Everybody knows it now. Anyway, I guess that's really the end of it. Wow.
All right.
Alrighty, well, anyway, before I let you go, is there anything you want to say, anything you want to ask, anything you want to say to the community before I let you go, Barren?
I want to say, of course, thank you for inviting me out to this. I really appreciate that. And it's nice to get to sit down and talk with you.
Oh, no problem, man. It's been a real pleasure having you on. I'm sure everybody watching will jump at the opportunity to hear you talk with little Super here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, on behalf of everybody in the Anarchy podcast, thanks for coming on, Barren. I'd like to thank you for watching the Anarchy podcast. If you'd like to be part of the discussion, don't forget to join the Discord. Links will be in the description along with anything else I said in the video. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Fuck my friends, they're gone. They all left one by one. And now the summer's done. They don't need no more fun. Yeah, I drive around on my own. I'm rich but my AC broke. Don't check no mail, no phone. And I tell them I'm not home. And I keep to myself. Fuck with no one else. And I know it's my fault, but I don't care. And I keep to myself. Who are you to pretend? And I know it's my fault. It'll never end. Yeah, all my friends no fun. Yeah, all my friends no fun. Drive around on my own. Yeah, all my friends no fun. Yeah, all my friends no fun. Yeah, all my friends no fun.